Hello, welcome. Come on in. Well, this one is a little bit out of order. But those that follow me on Twitter and Facebook many have asked, said, can we please see you putting your solar panels on? So why not? So this vlog is all about me installing solar panels to Narrowboat Morningstar. For those that have contemplated it, it's actually quite a straightforward job to do. So let's see how I got on. This is the kit I purchased from OnBoard Energy. The 16 amp battery cable leads shown in this video are not included in the kit, but can be requested at the time of ordering. Right, so here we go then. Step 1 is to ascertain where your batteries are and where the best position is for your solar panels and your controller. The very first job is to connect the batteries to the controller. It's important you do these first, as in this particular instance the controller works out the voltage. Negative first, positive last. Our third step, perhaps the most trickiest of all, is to position the panels correctly on the roof where you want them to be. And in this case I've connected the positive and negative of the panels together. Almost there. We now measure the lengths of the solar cable which is provided, attach the MC4 connectors to the panel ends of the cables, ensuring we remark which one is a positive feed and which one is a negative feed. These are then connected to the controller before finally snapping those connectors onto the spare connectors currently shown on the panels. Finally, the fun part. Download the app from the Apple Store or the Android Google Play Store. Connect via Bluetooth to the controller and enjoy that wonderful free energy. So having seen it all illustrated in the form of diagrams, let's watch how it works out in practice. Right then, so today I purchased my solar panels kit from Online Solar Direct at Springwood Haven, just outside the door. Now it's worth noting that when you buy the kit, these cables here, the main battery cables, do not come with it, but they were very kind enough to make them up for me, so I have everything I need to get on and get installing and get some of that lovely free energy. Right, so the first job, clear a workspace. Right, I think we got it in there. Right, the first thing I've got to do is put my solar charge controller on there, and this is the upgraded version. It's an extra £30, but well worth it. Looks like Christmas. Right, first job, screw this on. That's better. Great. So this is the MPPT 130 intelligent smart solar charge controller, and it's important that the battery terminals are connected first. Let me bring it down. There we go, and it's very clearly marked battery on these two, plus minus or positive negative, and your PV solar array negative positive just there. So that's the next job, is to connect the cable to the battery here first. This is a 16 amp cable for the battery terminals. It's important to do this first, as when the mains is connected, the battery is connected to it, it automatically sets itself to the correct voltage. but only on the first go. Kit comes with a fuse holder and a fuse. It's important that the positive for the plus cable is connected to a fuse. And once again, the kind people at Online Energy Direct, they put all the necessary connectors on for me. At least I know which end of the cable goes where now. Gosh, they don't make these bags to be got into. There we are. Right, so this is the fuse holder. Obviously you've got to take the nuts off, but the fuse goes over there. And these cables are connected, one to each end. Tighten them up. So I now need to make space to get to my batteries, which are under here. So I'll join me in a minute when I've got this connected, and we'll progress from there. So as you can see, is my lovely bank of batteries. Here at one end will be the positive connection, and it's correct practice evidently to put the negative onto the shunt. And there's the shunt connection down there, my pointy finger's showing you there. So I've got to go and make those connections, and because it's a little bit cramped, I'll show you what I've done after I've done it. However, you will notice that everything is now turned off here, and my inverter is also turned off. It's very important that there's no power being accessible. Right. So there we go then. We have the fuse connected to the positive and the negative up here, going back down to that shunt block just showed you just now. That concludes the cabling for the batteries up to the controller. And now the fun part begins. Okay then, so here we go. The first thing I need to do is to measure the internal depth. Not that depth, because there's a panel in there. That depth. Which is 26 millimeters. First got to find the middle of that. There. And then 13 millimeters in from there. My little friend the duck. Little tip I was taught, give it a take. I'll put it over there. Stop the drill from sliding. Actually, double check. Measure twice, cut once. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, here we go. Lovely jubbly. Now then, useful side hatches, put the rubbish in. Now, first things first, I need the kit. So, on the kit, take out the adjusters. And making sure the feet are facing inwards. Connect it all up. Quite hard for me since the stroke. I've got no feeling in my thumb or main finger, index finger. And there we go. Right then, I got another panel and another end to do, and I'm going to do it exactly the same way. I'll come back to you when I've done that. Okay then, so while you've been away, I've done the other panel and I've placed them on the roof where I want them to go. I've also checked the brackets are equidistant between that edge and that edge. Now, one of the things you have to bear in mind is, on this boat, it curves in. So it's not the same measurement all the way down. It took about 5-10 minutes just to make sure they're in the right place. Now, with my trusty marker pen, I'm going to make a point where the holes are going to be. Right, that job's done. Now before I go any further, I'm going to take these bits of foam and attach them to the underside of the feet here where the legs are. So I had to lift them on very carefully because I didn't want to scratch my paintwork. But when that's been added on, I can then carefully lift them out of the way and we can come back and drill some holes. That's if this rain decides not to come. It should go. Anyway, I'll catch you up soon. Okay then, so we've now got the pads on the brackets. Now I'm going to draw a pilot hole in my places that I've marked. Whoa, exciting. Haven't done the pilot hole. Now going to put the correct size hole in for the thread, for the tap to go in. Go. As you can see, it's all quite straightforward, and now I've got to put the tap in. How cool is that? I forgot the bolt, I'm going to get one. There you go. All bolts supplied for the kit, and that's it. Now I've got to go and do the other pointer on the side and the other 3 sets. So I'll just disappear and do that, and then I'll be back to you. Right, so it took me an hour to get both panels fitted to the roof, as you can see. The screws, or the bolts, whatever you want to call them, come with the kit, and with an Allen key you just screw them in. Now they're an M6 bolt, and with my particular tap for M6 I needed a metric size 5 high speed metal drill to drill the holes, and that concludes fitting the panels to the roof. Now I've got to work out the wiring. The wiring itself is pretty straightforward, in that you take either the plus or the positive from one panel, like so, and you connect it to the negative or the plus, whichever you're doing, on the other panel. So you've got plus to minus basically. Job done. That leaves us a plus here and a minus here, and these two now need to go back to the corresponding positions on the controller, which is just over there. But to do that I've got to work out a cable run and drill a hole in the roof for the cable. So I'll go and work on that now. Okay then, so the final piece of the jigsaw is a 10 meters of solder cable, the box to which the cables get fed through, and then you get that isofix down onto the roof, and the two connectors which connect onto these positive and negative up the end there. So what we now need to do is to measure the cable, cut it and connect it. Oh, I feel like a bit like a weatherman today, to keep popping in and out between the showers in order to bring you with me. Always be sure you put the right connector on the end. Know which one is which. The female one is negative, the male one is positive. You can tell they're different ends. Right, so I've got my negative cable here, and I need to make sure I've got enough. There we go. So I'm going to cut that. Ooh, done now. And here comes the rain again. Also going to get wet. There we go then. So despite the rain falling, I've got you under cover there, so I hope you're not getting wet. I've attached the ends of the cable to the pins, and now it's just a question of making sure they're the right way round. The very thin male one female one connects to the negative, and the male one, when we attach it, connects to the positive. So we push it together, making sure everything is in place, and tighten them up really tight. Right, that's now ready to connect to that one, being the positive. They can only go one way, you can't fit them around the wrong way. But I'm not going to connect them just yet, because I've got the work in the back of the boat to do first. So that's where we go next. So what I did was I removed this board, and I came in right up there in the corner above this electrical cabinet. I've come along, and then I've dropped the cables down here. Now the first thing I've got to do, or rather the last thing I have to do, is connect this cable to the solar panels. So I've stripped one end, I'm just going to strip the other. The minus goes to minus, the plus goes to plus, and only then can I go and connect the solar power in to this controller. So that's what we're going on to do then. Right, so as you can see, I've now connected both the solar cables to the minus and to the plus on this side. There is actually a black sleeve on the negative, so I know which is which. And that concludes the wiring inside, other than I need to get some clips and tidy it all up and make it look all pretty. But that's something I can do another time. Okay, then I'm back outside in the rain. All that remains is to connect the positive to the positive and the negative to the negative. The negative to negative, which I'm doing, so I'm going to connect the negative to my negative, which, if you can see, I've done that, and that just then snaps shut. Just remains for me to do the same with the positive. So both cables are now connected. Remember, I put the positive to the negative on the two panels, which left me with one positive and one negative to connect to the controller. Over here I've actually put the white box on, but with the rain I haven't got a hope in heck's chance of getting that to stick. So I'm going to put some weight on that to hold it down, and then that'll be its position, and then I'll just tidy up that cable in. But not when it's raining. But there we go. Solar power installed on a narrowboat. Don't know if you can see that, but there is a lovely blue light on bulk, showing that despite the rain, the actual solar panels are working, and some form of energy is getting into it. Anyway, there we go. All I have now to do is download the app from Victron website, and then I'll always be able to see what it's doing. I'll show you that later. So I did get round to tidying up the wiring, and this is a view from the helmsman's position, with all the cabling neatly tucked in and stuck down. And I even stuck the white box down with a bit of Sikaflex. Inside was not forgotten either. Nice bit of few cable clips down the side, tucked in that, and of course I tied up the main cables to the batteries. I'm very pleased with that. Well, there we go then. I did it, and it's really good. It's given me lots and lots of free energy. I hope you found it interesting, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all again next week. But until then, thank you to everyone else who's subscribed for all your lovely comments, and may I wish you a very, very pleasant week. Ta-da!